Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to have a look at private model deployments in Microsoft Foundry. Now, when deploying models in AI Foundry, you can deploy it in a way that the model is public so that you can access it with the API key. The problem with this approach is that anyone with this API key can access your model. And also, the traffic that goes from the application to this model is public. So anyone can intercept, if they can decrypt it, they can see what's going on. So that's the public endpoint deployment model. If you're developing a POC, if you're testing things out, this is completely fine. But when you move from a POC stage to the production level and actual employees or users use your application, pass the user's private data to work with these models, the public endpoint deployment model is not going to be enough. And that's why you have the private endpoint deployment. The main reason that you should go for private model deployment is its security. Enterprises, they don't want their traffic, their internal organizational traffic, going over the internet. When it comes to security and compliance, it's very important that you have your data flow, everything within a self-contained bubble. When I say private deployments, we're using a technology called private endpoints. So the main difference is that there won't be a publicly exposed IP address for your service. And you will only be able to access your resource or your AI model if you have your application deployed in a VNet. And also if you are using the AI model from an on-prem environment, let's say you want to directly talk to your AI model from your laptop, there should be a VPN connection connecting your local environment to Azure VNet. So that's the key idea. And also the traffic from your application is going through Azure Backbone Network. Your traffic won't be publicly exposed. That's the key difference. This does not mean that you're hosting your own model. What this means is that there will be a network interface card directly within your VNet. So basically the resources will be separate. They will be different, like this, the Foundry resource, or even any other resources like that goes with Foundry, like AI Search, Azure Storage, Cosmos DB. All these resources will be separate, but there will be a private endpoint or a network interface card present in your VNet. So that's how we secure things. And the applications that can talk to these models, they'll be able to access it. The applications that you have on premises even can access these models. So that's the high level idea of it. And in this video, we are going to create a small setup like this, where we're going to deploy an AI model to Azure, and then we're going to test it out from the local environment. So this is using the publicly accessible endpoint. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create an application on Azure, and then we are going to enable the private endpoint access to this model. And then we're going to secure it so that the only application that can access this model is going to be the app service. So that's the idea. That's what we're going to deploy in this video. For this, I have prepared this script. Basically, I have two scripts here, and you can find these scripts down below. The first thing, it's going to create AI Foundry resource, and it's going to deploy a sample model inside of it. So I'm just going to run it. So this is the first script. And while that's running, I have another script, and that will create a VNet. So basically the VNet that we talked about here, the VNet with the app service subnet and a Foundry subnet, the second script here, it's going to create the VNet and the subnets, and also it's going to create the app service. It's going to do a deployment of a .NET application that I have here. So let's first create the AI Foundry with this script. All right, as you can see, I'm just able to create the Microsoft Foundry resource. Inside of it, if I go into the Foundry portal, you'll be able to see the AI model as well. Go into models and endpoints. And here, as you can see, we have the model deployed. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to call this model from my local computer. I'm just going to copy the key here and then go into app settings. I'm going to paste the API key, fetching chat response. All right, as you can see, it was able to talk to the model. So what we have done is we have deployed this model. We are invoking that model from my .NET application. The next thing that we are going to do is we're going to create a private VNet setup on Azure, and we're going to deploy the application to that environment. So I'm going to copy and paste the second script here to do that. So what this is doing, as you can see, it's going to use the same resource group, and it's going to create a virtual network called Foundry Demo VNet, and it's going to create two subnets, one for the app services and one for the Microsoft Foundry resources. And finally, as you can see, it's going to just package the .NET application that I have here, and then it's going to do a deployment. So let's see. Alright, as you can see, the second script is also now complete. Now if I go into the Azure portal, we have the app service here, and if I just click on this link, I should be able to see it's working just like it worked on my local environment. So basically what we have just done is we have deployed the same application to an app service, and now it's accessing Azure AI Foundry, but not privately with the public endpoint. The next thing we should do is making the model or the AI Foundry a private deployment. For that, I'm gonna go into the Foundry resource here. I'm gonna go into networking, and this is the most important part of the video. Now, as you can see here, there's a requirement for me to add a custom domain for enabling this. This wasn't the case before. So I can click this button to add a custom domain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the name of the Foundry here. This will be kind of the prefix of the endpoints that you will have to call after adding this domain. So I've added the custom domain. I can configure the firewalls and virtual networks, and we have three options here. The default option here, when you create a Foundry resource, it's allow traffic from all the networks. And we have this option here to allow traffic from only a selected set of networks, and you can add your client IP address, or you can whitelist a certain range, but this is not the ideal setup here. So what we should do from this section is disabling access from all the resources. So this makes your AI Foundry a private setup. What's happening now is that if I try to call the AI model from my local environment, let me just do that again. Ideally, it should not, as you can see, now it's disabled. If I just try to call it from here, it should not work. And also, as you can see, it's not working. And this also, the application that we have deployed now even, it also doesn't work. Now we can't access from this path, and also the public access from the app service, it's also not working. As you can see, there's an error. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into private endpoint connection section, and we're going to create a private endpoint. So we just have to add a name here. Just call it private one, something like this. And the network interface, we should name that also. I'm going to keep the resource at the account level. And now we have the option to select the virtual network and the subnet to which the private endpoint will be deployed. Now I'm going to select the virtual network that we have created, and also, as you can see, it has automatically selected the Foundry subnet that we have created, and we can't select the app service subnet as it's delegated for app services. And then I'm going to go into the next tab, and that is the DNS configuration. So if you just go into this architecture diagram here, so what's happening with console application is that you're calling, if I go into the app settings, there is a eastus.api.cognitive.microsoft.com. This is the endpoint that you are invoking, and there is a public DNS server resolving this domain to an IP address somewhere, right? What we're doing now is that we are keeping the traffic from the app service to the AI model private. So we're doing that by adding a network interface card representing the AI Foundry resource in the Foundry subnet. So that's why we need to configure a private DNS zone. So basically, when this app service talks to a domain, it should route the traffic back to the private NIC. When you're working with AI Foundry or Microsoft Foundry resources, there are three key endpoints. We have the cognitive services endpoint, and also the OpenAI endpoint, and also the AI services. What Microsoft is doing is that they're bringing all of their cognitive services into Microsoft Foundry. So that's why we have three endpoints registered when we create this private endpoint for this service type. As you can see, there should be three DNS zones registered. Previously, we had to create the DNS zones separately. Alright, so now I'm creating the private endpoint. It's in deployment. The private endpoint is now in place. If I try to access the resource, it still might not work. And that is because, let me just go back to the resource group and show you the kind of resources that we have provisioned so far. We have an app service plan and app service, and we have the virtual network and AI Foundry, right? That's we understand. We have the private endpoint resource, and the NIC card. We have three private DNS zones because of the three domain names, as you can see. And if I go into the private endpoint and DNS configuration, this is the endpoint, and now we should call to make this work, right? But earlier we were using the public endpoint, but now this is the endpoint that we should use. As you can see, the custom domain that we have added earlier here, when my application is trying to talk to this domain here, it's gonna route the traffic to this IP address. So, this is not working, as you can see. So I'll have to update the domain name that it's using to update the domain without deploying it. So I'm just gonna go into the advanced tools and I'm just gonna directly update the domain there. So this is not this is probably not the right way of doing it, but just for the sake of this demo, this might work. So I'm just gonna go into the file manager and the site, and this page here, as you can see, this has all the files of my .NET application deployment. And then I'm going to edit the domain here and I'm going to save it. All right. And probably I'll have to restart the app service as well. If I just access the service, it should be able to talk to the AI model privately. So let's see. As you can see, app service can talk to the AI Foundry resource, and this still fails because it doesn't have a publicly accessible endpoint. So this is what I wanted to cover in this video. And if I just SSH into the same environment, if I try to do an NS lookup for that domain, as you can see, it resolves to the correct address, and that's why the application is working. If you have any comments, video suggestions, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you with another video like this soon, and thanks for watching.